What's happening, dogs? Mr. Allen here talking coterminal angles in this video. We want to find a coterminal for each one of these 6 examples here, but there is a stipulation. I got to be between negative 360 and 360 for my degrees, and between negative 2 pi and 2 pi for my radian ones. That's a common restriction that we set on a test. That way there's only 1 or 2 correct answers and not an infinite number of correct answers that could apply here, because coterminal, I can just keep going around, and get an infinite number of coterminal angles here, okay? So coterminal just means we have the same terminal side, all right? So if I were to draw up 140, that's going to be over here, 40 degrees away from my x-axis. 40 degrees would be my reference, but we're talking coterminals here. So I can either do another full rotation in the positive direction and add 360, which would give me 500 degrees. That lands outside of my domain or my restrictions on theta here. Or instead, I could go the other way and subtract 360 from that 140. And if I did that, I'd end up with what? Negative 220 for my coterminal angle, which does land within negative 360 to 360 for theta. Nice. That's excellent. So in general here, guys, I can either add or subtract 360 degrees to get a coterminal angle. All right, that's about it. And I can do that multiple times if needed. Sometimes I'll be like, what's the coterminal angle of 1,000 degrees within here? I'm going to have to subtract 360 a whole bunch of times. All right, let's do this next one here. Negative 200. I'll draw it up. So if I draw it up, negative 200 starts by rotating down, and I'll be right here in my second quadrant again. I'm 20 degrees past negative 180. 20 would be my reference angle. We're talking coterminals, but why not a little extra knowledge being thrown your way? Now, if I want to get into the positives here, right, I want to be between negative 360 and 360. Subtracting 360 would give me negative 560. That's outside. But what if I were to add 360? Meaning, if I were to go 360 in the positive direction here, if I were to add 360 degrees, what would I end up getting? Well, negative 200 plus 360 is going to give me 160 degrees for my coterminal angle. And if you think about it, if I were to draw it up, 160 rotating, boom, right there, right? I'm going to be 20 degrees away from my x-axis right here, that x-axis at 180 or negative 180. So I'd have the same terminal side here, the same 20-degree reference. Psh, it's dope. Super dope. All right, circle that bad boy. 160 it is. Now, how about for 500? Let me get a coterminal angle for 500. No, this is not Jeopardy. It did seem like that, though. Okay, coterminal angles for 500. Big money here, big money. 500, positive rotation. This is 360. And then I got to go another 140 degrees to get to 500, which lands me once again, whoop, right up here. All right, nice. So if I were to take, because I'm going to want to backtrack to get into my, restrictions here. If I were to subtract 360, you might be already like, I know what it is, bro. Subtract 360. Oops, 360. I'm going to get 140 degrees. It's that guy right there, right? I said earlier, if I add 360, I'd get 500. It's coterminal, but not within. Subtract 360. Boom. We're back to 140. Nice. So there's degrees. Now radians. Oh, boy. Everybody freaks out with radians, man. Okay. Since with this one, we were either adding or subtracting 360, the equivalent of that in radians is adding and subtracting 2 pi. But, and I'm not going to necessarily draw these up, okay? But with this, we're going to need a common denominator. Oh, boy. All right, so I'm at 10 pi over 7, okay? So that's a little over pi, right? I'm going to subtract 2 pi in this case. So I want to subtract 2 pi here. That should give me a coterminal angle within the negative 2 pi to 2 pi. And we'll check it after subtracting, okay? I can't do this right now. I need a common denominator. So instead, we're going to have 10 pi over 7 minus, if I want to put that over 7, would minus 14 pi over 7. That is equivalent to 2 pi, right? So 10 minus 14 is negative 4 pi over 7. Honestly, dealing with the radians is sometimes a little bit easier. Sometimes without a calculator, you're like, wait, am I subtracting incorrectly? I'm not sure. Negative 4 pi over 7 is definitely between negative 2 pi and 2 pi. You can check by saying, okay, well, it's between negative 14 pi over 7 and positive 14 pi over 7. Get your common denominator for your restrictions. Negative 4 pi is within those. This answer is Gucci. All right, here I got 16 pi over 3. So I'm going to subtract 2 pi, which is the same as 6 pi over 3, right? 6 divided by 3 is 2, okay? So we get 16 minus 6, that's going to be 10 pi over 3. Now, is that within, or do I need to subtract again? Well, 2 pi is the same as we already said, 6 pi over 3. So is 10 between negative 6 pi over 3 and positive 6 pi over 3? No, it's not. I got to subtract 6 pi over 3 once again. That'll leave me with 4 pi over 3, which is just over 1 pi over 3. This one is between the negative 6 and positive 6 pi over 3. So we're good to go. So we ended up having to subtract twice on that one. No big deal. We handled it. It wasn't light work. Light work, as they say. All right, let's go with the yellowish here, which kind of looks like green. Negative 7 pi over 4. I'm going to add, in this case, 2 pi, which is the same as, well, what over 4? That'd be 8 pi over 4. All right, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Again, we're just getting common denominators. The pi is just kind of there, right? Same rules apply as adding and subtracting fractions, which you've probably forgotten at this point. Anyway, so yay, it's back. Don't call it a comeback. LL Cool J. It's been here for years. All right. Negative 7 plus 8 is positive 1 pi over 4, or just pi over 4, so we're not weird, right? Who's going to write 1 there? Boom. That's definitely in between negative 8 pi and positive 8 pi over 4. Pi over 4 is in that restriction right there. That's it. We got our coterminal angles, baby. That was dope. Super fun. Often forgotten about because you do this like day 1 or 2 of your trig unit, and then it's on your test. You're like, huh? How do I do this again? Hopefully you review this video prior to your test and then crush it on your test to get them free points, because this stuff should be easier than some of the other things you're going to be doing in trig. So make sure you know these. Get the free points. That's dope. See you later.